What's up, Bears fans? Before we jump into today's episode of Chicago Bears Now, I got a little deal for you guys. If we can get to 7,000 followers on my Instagram, we're at 6,222, so just under 800 away from 7,000, I will do an Instagram Live pre-draft special. We haven't done one of these in a while. A couple off seasons ago, I was ripping them out for you guys, but we get to 7K before the draft, we'll run it back. So, hey, give me a follow. We're posting Bears content over there every single day as well. It's at HGramNFL. Bears Now by Chat Sports is sponsored by 8 Sleep, and I got to tell you, I could use some extra sleep right now. Luckily, I'm going to get the best sleep possible with the Pod 3 cover from 8 Sleep. 8sleep.com/chatsports gets you $200 off. We'll tell you more about that product here in a little bit. All right, on today's show, we got some Bears trade candidates, 5 players that could conceivably get traded before or during the NFL draft, depending on if certain things happen. So we'll go one by one here and dive in. We got the first guy here, Braxton Jones. Now, I've kind of mentioned this a few times, and I feel like some people think I'm not a Braxton Jones guy. That is not the case. Braxton Jones is a good player. They found him in the 5th round, and he is a starting left tackle in this league. But there is a real scenario where the Bears upgrade with the number 9 pick and select a Joe Alt or a different tackle. And if they do, where does that leave Braxton Jones? Well, he could obviously be your swing tackle, and he'd probably be the best swing tackle in the NFL, and that's obviously valuable. Or, as you look at the Bears' offensive line depth chart, you could conceivably say, hey, we have a starting left tackle. Tackles are needed in this league. Will a team throw us a day 2 pick, 3rd-round pick for Braxton Jones? Because, I don't know, like, Braxton Jones almost feels too good to be a swing tackle, but if you get Joe Alt, where does he start for you? I don't think he does start because I don't know if he's strong enough to play guard, if I'm being completely honest. I thought last year he took steps forward. He obviously missed a few games with that neck issue, but came back and looked fine. But his weaknesses are, they're never going to be something that, like, are a strength. Like, he's never going to have a super strong anchor. So bull rushers are always going to be a challenge for him. And so what that means is he's a classic high floor, lower mid ceiling. Like, again, he's kind of, you know what he is? He's the Jack Sanborn of this offense. Good player. You found him in the 5th round. Sanborn was an undrafted free agent. But Sanborn's never going to be the best linebacker on a good defense. He can be a 2. He can be a great 3. Braxton Jones, he can be an above-average left tackle, but he's never going to be an all-pro, and that's fine. You can get by with that. I'm just saying if the Bears decide to upgrade, I could see them trying to trade him. So, hypothetical, could or would you trade Braxton Jones for a 3rd-round pick in a scenario where you upgrade? Type Y for yes and for no. If it's a 3rd, I probably will if you upgrade at left tackle. Now, I'm not going to do it and then try to scrap a different left tackle in the 3rd round. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you finish day 1 of the draft with the tackle, what if someone comes calling and says, hey, we'll give you the 80th pick for Braxton Jones? I would consider it if I'm being completely honest. What say you? Y for yes and for no. All right, Kahlil Herbert next up here. And again, you're in a good spot here. Khalil Herbert is back in his role that he needs to be in, which is a high-level RB2. You look at his career stats, which have been primarily as a number 2. His first 2 years behind David Montgomery. Last year, he got the chance to be the starter. Some mixed results, did some good things, but missed some time with the high ankle sprain, which that's been a bit of a theme the last 2 years. He's missed 9 games in the past 2 seasons. I think now with adding DeAndre Swift, he's back in his good role. But a couple things to consider. One, we know the Bears like Roschon Johnson. Do they want him to be an RB3 for a 2nd straight year, or do they want to give him a bigger role? And 2, Khalil Herbert is in the final year of his rookie contract. Now, I've said this before. If it's a 6th or 7th round pick, I would just keep him because I think 1 year of Khalil Herbert is a good runner as your RB2 is worth more than a 6th or 7th round pick. But if you get a 5th from a team or a 4th, you could just draft his replacement. That's kind of the name of the NFL. Just draft a running back in the middle, late rounds, use him on his rookie contract, then get the next guy as a part of your rotation. So I like Herbert. I'm not looking to trade him, but if they draft a running back, then someone's probably going to exit, and he seems like the most likely candidate since he is in the final year of his deal, and he probably will not be back after this year. All right, today's show is sponsored by 8 Sleep. Listen, you got to get good quality sleep at night, and 8 Sleep is the high-tech solution to your age-old sleeping problems. We all have them. 8 Sleep's Pod 3 cover slips right over your mattress, bringing heating and cooling technology that keeps you comfortable and sleeping deeper for a better, more restful night. I've had my Pod 3 since the start of the new year, and I've never slept better. Sleep science shows that in order to sleep our best, our body temperature needs to drop in the early and middle part of sleep and rise in the morning. The pod cover will improve your sleep by automatically adjusting your bed's temperature based on your individual needs. The pod cover fits on any bed like a fitted sheet and allows you and your partner to cool or warm your side of the bed by as low as 55 degrees and up to 110 degrees, which is very valuable because you may like a different temperature that your partner has. Not only does it keep you at the perfect temperature all night, the pod also tracks your sleep and health metrics, which is very important. On average, users see their sleep quality improve by 32% after just 1 month on the pod. Let me repeat that, 32% improvement after just 1 month. So take advantage of our link right now. It's 8sleep.com/chatsports. That is 8sleep.com/chatsports to get $200 off. Check out the Pod 3 cover. It is a fantastic investment. Link is in the comments and in the description. Start sleeping better today. All right, let's get to our next player here, Velus Jones Jr. Now, is Velus Jones a hot commodity? Absolutely not. But I do still think a player who's cheap on his rookie contract with 4.3 speed, with gadget ability and a guy who now has probably at least a little more value than he did a month ago due to the new kickoff rules. Hey, I could see a team late in the draft being like, hey, we'll throw you a 6th-round pick if you're looking to unload Velus Jones. He obviously has not been unlocked as a receiver. We'll see if Shane Waldron has any ideas to get that going. We know he's had punt return issues, but we know he's one of the best kick returners in the NFL, and now that there's going to be returns back in the game, I think there could be some value. But we also saw the Bears sign Dante Pettis. Dante Pettis can do similar things that Velus can do on special teams. He can catch punts, and he's probably a better overall receiver, so I would not be shocked if Pettis made this team over Velus as like wide receiver 5, wide receiver 6. And if that's the case, and you might just cut him anyway, if a team's willing to throw you a late-round pick, maybe you just do that. All right, here's a curveball. Nate Davis, the guard who had a tumultuous season last year, had the family death. We didn't really know what was going on. Then we found out, and that explained a lot of things why he was in and out of training camp. I thought he started slow, then he played better, then he got hurt, then he struggled down the stretch. It was just all over the place last season for a lot of different reasons. I do think trading him is a long shot because, one, they signed him last year to be a clear starter for multiple years. But I could still see a slight possibility of them doing it, and here's why. Here's why I wouldn't rule it out. Number one, you've got Ryan Bates, who is a serviceable guy that can start at guard or center. You could roll a Shelton at center and Bates at guard if you wanted to. Two, if someone trades you a pick for Nate Davis, I don't know what it would be. Maybe it's like a 4th-round pick or something. You save almost $7.5 million. You could say, okay, look, last year it was all over the place. It was a train wreck. His play was okay when he was out there. We understand he had a lot going on, but if we can clear $7.5 million and we think Ryan Bates is a similar caliber player, why not do it? Again, I don't think they're going to look to do this. I think they're going to kind of scrap last year and say he had a lot going on and the player we paid for is still in there somewhere, which I believe that to be the case. But I'm just telling you, these situations are fluid all the time. Things can change, and I would not be shocked. Like if we woke up to news tomorrow, the New Orleans Saints have traded for Nate Davis, I'm not going to be so shocked that I couldn't believe it happened. So wanted to mention him as well. Subscribe to the channel. If the Bears make a trade, we're going to have you covered. Hit that sub button, turn on notifications, and do not miss out as the draft is just around the corner, about 2.5 weeks away. I can't wait, and we're going to have you covered every step of the way for free, so hit that sub button. Keep the theme going, guard/tackle, Larry Borom. More of a tackle these days. Our database has him as a guard for some reason. Full disclosure, he could just get cut because he met a player escalator, which means his cap hits over $3 million right now, and that's not that cheap for a guy in the final year of his rookie deal that doesn't start for you. They signed Matt Pryor, who's probably a slightly better swing tackle anyway. So maybe there's a situation in training camp where, hey, we'll throw you a 7th-round pick for Larryborm. So wouldn't be surprised. I doubt this would be around the draft, and that's kind of the theme around most of these trades, but I think Larryborm's path to this roster could be pretty difficult depending on how things play out over the next few months. So there you have it, 5 Bears trade candidates. I think those first 2 are ones situationally that could come up. Again, if the Bears draft a tackle high, if they consider a running back in the draft, Jones and Herbert could be guys they look to move. The other 3 probably more long shots, but guys to at least keep in mind. So name a player that you think the Bears should trade away. Drop his name down in the comments below. And again, follow me on Instagram. Once we get to 7,000 followers, if we get there before the draft, we're going to do a pre-draft IG Live special. So let's get there. Just under 800 away. Give me a follow at HGramNFL.